Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough with various wins for the new course in Golf Clash called East Lake Golf Club and for the Tour Championship. This is Rookie Division that we are talking about, and I will talk you through the hole 1 to 9 where we're playing 5 par 4s, 2 par 3s and 2 par 5s. But before we take a look at everything, we make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those that do want to have an easy route to the final round in Expert and Master Division, make sure to scan the QR code here on the screen or use the link patreon.com/golfclashtommy that you can find in the description down below. There you can see as well that we have activated the free 7-day trial. So for everyone that is signing up for any tournament guide package, within the time from now until the 23rd of August, will get 7 days free and try out and see for yourself how our guides will improve your game. Follow the info box on the right hand side for the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also a ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there is always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. On the drive here on hole number 1, the intention here is to get as close to the green as possible. So we are using a ball that do have power 2 plus, because I do feel that a power 1 ball is going to require some overpower that I do feel is unnecessary. It's still a very short par 4, and you're gonna see the similarity amongst the par 4s we're playing here on the East Lake Golf Club. We are going to play some very short par 4s, and all of them is going to be with a wedge for the second shot, if not with a putt. So you can see here we're getting close to green. This is going to be a wedge from distance, and we're going to have a look at the wedge, even though I played the wedge trying to eyeball that one, which was not good. But for those of you that are playing the EB School, then it's an EB School plus 10 that we're using here from distance, trying to play this wedge by landing on the fringe, using a little backspin if needed to not come in too hot. I do not want to bounce on the fairway in between the rough and the fringe. The reason for that is that's a very glitchy fairway and will give you inconsistent bounces. So again, I'm just eyeballing this one, which is a clear mistake as I'm missing here, left with a perfect. The wedge to choose is the wedge that do have the best ball guideline, because the ball guideline will be your friend when you're trying to set up your aim, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to know if you will come in too hot or you will come in too slow. And as we're playing all the par 4s for wedge range, the wedge will be a crucial club to choose for your bag. Hole number 2 is another short par 4 where we can play with a power 1 plus ball in crosswind. If we do have a headwind, I do recommend to play with a power 2 or a power 3 ball. This to ensure that we do not have to use a bunch of overpower to get the ball to green or close to green. So you can decide to do one out of two things here. Either you lay up short of the first bunker, or like that is to the left, or you go on the right side trying to get the ball to be approx at the fringe. So again, it's up to you what you feel comfortable with doing, because if you're gonna play on the right hand side, you're going to sometimes have to play with overpower, and that may not be something that you do want to gamble with, because if you do get into the rough or into the sand, that's going to be a tough make from there. And as this is a short par 4, you will see a lot of your opponents get the eagle here. So I would say this is definitely to play it in a way that you feel that this is the best chance for myself to get an eagle, so I do not lose a shot towards my opponents. Hole number 3, here we're gonna try to get as close to the green that we possibly can. If you can use a power 4 or a power 5 ball, that will help you a lot, because that will take you into, I would say, almost a wedge range, especially in tailwind. But what to expect here is to get into short iron range, and you can see that I'm adjusting max no elevation, and I'm using all the top spin that I can together with 2 right spin. using a little bit of overpower in the end just to push the ball higher up. And I could say like this, depending on how comfortable you feel by using overpower, use as much as you want. You can use max overpower here as well, but obviously using max will give you a much shakier needle, and that's going to be then tougher to hit perfect. Second shot, we play with our Thorn or whatever short arm we feel comfortable with using. I like to use a short arm that gives me a good ball guideline, which is the reason why I'm going with the Thorn. Now, obviously the ball guideline is not super duper in the lower levels, but it's better with the Thorn than with the Runner, for an example. Leaving the ball guideline short, thinking that this is going to roll out towards the pin, misjudging the fact that we're bouncing on a slight uphill slope, and also then not having the full ball guideline is hard to read how the ball will roll out in the end. Minus 10% elevation through club distance, so here we're close to max line. So that's what we're playing as well. And we're getting a good line with our ball here, but we are approximately 1 green square short, which is not something we want to be, but easy to be if we do have a bad ball guideline. On hole number 4, we're going to use our backbone or whatever long iron that gives us the best possible ball guideline. So if you do have a Grizzly level 7 plus or B52 level 7 plus, that should be chosen before we go to the backbone. Now, looking to have around 2 bars of backspin, a little bit of side spin, using the blue ring at the bottom to be by the rough line ball guideline to point towards the hole. Medium distance plus 10. The thing to have in mind with this type of play is that we do have a very high first bounce. And having a high first bounce means that the wind is going to push the ball a little bit more than what we are used to after it hits the ground the first time. And that's something to have in mind, especially if you do have some higher winds. Now we have 2.2 miles per hour and the ball won't be really affected that much no matter what. But the hole-in-one here is definitely something that will be tougher to get than hole number 8, but also the hole number 4 and hole number 9, in my opinion, is 2 of the toughest holes we do have of the East Lake Golf Club. Take your game to the next level with our Ultimate Tournament Text Guides for Expert and Master Division for the Tour Championship starting the 24th of August in Golf Clash the game. The free 7-day trial is active for all of you that do sign up to any of our tournament guide packages as latest the 23rd of August. So try for yourself and see how the guides that we provide will improve your game. You will also notice that we do have tour guides, we have checkpoint challenge guides, so we have something for each of all the game modes. Last but not least, golfclashtommy.com, your place to find free content when it comes to Golf Clash, all from wind information, ball information, club information, to latest information about the Tour Championship when it comes to simple elevations, and also some playthroughs, note sheets, and stuff like that. So check that out. You have the link to golfclashtommy.com in the description down below. So scan the QR code here on the screen or use the link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the free 7-day trial. Sign up today and improve your game. Hole number 5 is another short par 4, and here I'm starting with a power 1 ball in headwind. I do recommend to play with a power 2 or power 3 ball to ensure that we are having the distance enough. You can also see here now that if you do have a crosswind or a tailwind, you can play with a power 4 or a power 5 ball to actually aim, so you are pinging this one for a hole-in-one. So what I mean is that you can actually aim very close to the rough and the sand by the green, so you can bounce over that part and attack the pin for a hole-in-one on this par 4, which is obviously very exciting. But in headwind, that's not a possibility regardless what ball you're using. And now I'm thinking about, obviously, those of you using clubs that is rookie division clubs, not the ones that do play with Apocalypse level 5 plus, for an example. Then you probably could reach no matter what. Max plus 10 on the drive. If you end up for a wedge, you play that 10% elevation. Hole number 6, we're gonna put ourselves close to green with a mauling ball. Yes, that's the only thing that is needed in Tailwind. Sure, you can play with a higher powered ball, and you could attack the pin if you play with a power 3 or a power 4 or a power 5 ball by bouncing over the bunker, and that is there by the green. It's untested from my end, I'm just speculating here, but the cheapest way to get an eagle is to play with a mauling ball in Tailwind, and in a crosswind we can play with a navigator, which is power 1 ball, in a headwind a power 2 ball or better. Max plus a 10 for the adjustment, using all the top spin that we can, and together with the left spin here, also aiming just center fairway. Then we have an open wedge here towards the pin that plays 15% elevation. Hole number 7 is the shortest of the par 4s that we are playing, and here we're going for green. I would say if you do have a crosswind or a headwind, a power 5 ball is the ball to go with if you want to get to green. If you do have some tailwind, you can go with a power 3 ball. However, though, you do need to have some overpower if you do have club like myself, extra level 6 or something that is lower than that. And you can see that I'm, even with a great ball, I'm getting up onto the green, rolling off just to have a short wedge towards the pin. If you do not want to go for the green, you can lay up short of the bunker by the green, using a wedge from there, and that wedge then plays 10% elevation. Hole number 8, we're going to use the long iron that gives us the best ball guideline possible. Here I'm trying to actually play it very similar to how I play in the golden shot, using the backbone here from first tee. 4.5 bar backspin, or like 4.4 bars of backspin if we're gonna be completely correct. And I'm using 0.2 left spin. Medium distance plus 10 is the adjustment, but the issue we do have here now is that I'm changing the side spin, and you're gonna see based on the result that the side spin change that I'm doing is costing me better chance of a drop, or costing me a drop, so to speak. Adjust is done. We're gonna center the ball, hit perfect. I'm gonna land the first bounce on the fairway and then bounce up towards the pin. Sure, you can go for rough bumps and stuff like that here too, but I do feel as we do not really need that much backspin bouncing on the fairway, the fairway bounce is the best play here from tee. Hole number 9, the drive. Here we want to have a look at what wind we have off tee. And the reason that is so important to look at that is because it's going to decide what type of play we're going to do. If we do have a tailwind, we can bounce over the water using 6 plus topspin. Big topper would be perfect there. But if we do have a crosswind or a headwind, we have to lay up on the first fairway to get the ball to be as close to the rough line, because if we do not have the distance enough here on our drive, we are going to be forced to be playing with a wood club that is the big dog or the cataclysm, which has a very poor accuracy, and that's going to then be very difficult to drop that one from distance. Also, to not have, I forgot to mention that it also has a very bad ball guideline, so that's two things that's not what we want to have when we are trying to drop a long distance wood club. But if we do get the distance enough, we can play with our sniper. And here I'm using the P5 ball to give myself some extra help, because it allows me then to get up to around plus 21 with the sniper. Here I'm trying to offset on the right hand side, kind of misjudging the fact that it's not really much wind that we have to adjust for. So I'm aiming way right of the pin here. Again, it's a misjudgment from my end. Using 10% elevation, true club adjustment. And the ball will come in with perfect speed, but will miss to a mile on the right hand side, or to a mile, but at least I feel it's a very big miss. but at least you get an understanding on how to play. Try to have the second bounce on the green if possible, because the beginning of the green, you can see how it slopes there, and that's hard to, it's easy to misjudge that part if you're trying to bounce on that line between the fringe and the green. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough with various wins for Rookie Division 4, the new course in Golf Clash called East Lake Golf Club. And we're playing the Tour Championship, and we're not going to call it the 9-hole Cup, but it's just called Tour Championship. Scan the QR code here on the screen, or you use the link patreon.com/golfclashtom. You can find it in the description down below. There you can sign up for the free 7-day trial that will then include expert and master division guides for the Tour Championship. So if you do want to try out the best guides on the market, make sure to sign up before the free trial closes, which is Wednesday, the 23rd of August. And thanks again for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your Golf Clash game.